Hi there, this is Becca with Amazing Paper Grace. Last week I made this card and I was explaining on my blog how I put it together. It has filigree on the front and filigree on the back. That's something I like to do. And I was explaining how I do that with a hinge, and several of you asked me to do that in a tutorial, so I'm going to do that today. Now the die template that I'm working with is called Timeless Rectangles. And the first thing that I need to do is I need to get a piece of paper, cardstock, and prepare it. And I do that by scoring it 1 inch in from the edge. So I'll score that and I'll go ahead and fold it. Now as I prepare it for my die cutting machine, I start by putting the die down. I use wax paper to aid in releasing the paper from the die. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this down, this folded paper down. And when you put that down, you need to make sure that on the top side, in at least 2 places, hopefully on the outside edges, that it doesn't quite reach the cut line. And the reason for that is this is where our hinge is going to be formed. And so I'll put a little piece of tape right there. And so I'm going to end up with something that looks like this. It has just a little bit of a hinge and just an inch or so. So what I'm going to do with that next is I'm going to cut another one just like it. And I need to adhere these together. So there's 2 different ways that I do this. And for the first way, I have the right side facing up and I let this flap fall to the front. I put some adhesive and I also use this glossy accent because it'll use a fine line, leave a fine line of glue, and it dries clear. And then I'm going to just merge it right on top. Of course, you know, with time you do that very neatly. So this is the first way that I do it. Now, when I open this card up, on the inside, you know, you see the nice card, but behind the front, you can see this line. Some people don't like that and they want a totally finished card, so that would be up to you. If you're going to do this and you don't mind this line, then you only need 2 pieces of paper. Otherwise, this is what you're going to do. Okay, you'll start out with this piece again, and the right side will be facing up, but instead of letting the hinge fall to the front, go ahead and let it fall to the back. Then you're going to have your second piece, and for your second piece, you want the wrong side up, and then you're going to glue it together like that. So let me just go ahead and put a strip of glue. So I have my right side up, the hinge falls to the back, and then I have the wrong side up on this. And then you need to cut one more piece, and you'll open your card, and with the right side up, you'll adhere it here. And so what happens is you've encased that raw edge, and so the inside of your card is finished. And when somebody opens it, they always get a nice presentation of the die cut. So that's pretty much it. Now that's also how I do my card bases, because I normally have a 5 by 7 inch card, and instead of having to have 14-inch paper, I just simply need 8.5 inch by 11. So the same technique applies. And so I hope that makes it clear for you. Thank you for joining me today.